Hey everybody, and welcome back. I want to show you three of my 1/6 scale action figures from the American Civil War line. And this is put out by a company called Soldiers of the World. And these are great detailed figures for collectors who like historical items in their collections. The detail in these is just phenomenal. And I thought you might find this interesting, just to show you these three in particular. These are 12-inch, 1/6 scale, so they're very large, about the size of a GI Joe. Each one comes with a display stand with a nice little metallic plate to indicate who they are. For example, this is a major, and he's an Army hospital steward. And you can tell he's an officer by the strap on his trousers. He has a sash under his sword belt. There's a kind of a supposed to be a brass buckle here, but it's actually like a fabric that's sewn on. He has nicely done brass buttons. His hospital insignia is on his shoulder. His collar has the red piping here, and his kepi hat has US with the wreath around it. He's armed with a Colt pistol. Just show you some of these. And it's nicely detailed. You can see the cylinder and the place to put the caps here. And he has his officer's sword, which comes out of the scabbard. There's some scroll work on it. Good detailing. The scabbard itself is very nicely done. Made out of hard plastic. Let's take them off the stand for a second and show you some of the detailing. The kepi is removable. It's secured by a little strap, and as you can see, he has sort of a 1860s look about him. There was a piece of tape that was holding it there, but it needs to be removed. Incidentally, this is an older line of figures, so they're out of production. So if you want to get your hands on one of these, you can go to eBay, which has a good variety of them, or other sites for 12-inch figure enthusiasts. Get his kepi is a little bit hard to get back on his head here, because he has a very large head. There we go. And it fits nicely once you get it back on. Okay, next is this signaler from the Signal Corps. He comes with the same kind of kepi. There's no device on it. He has sort of an 1860s mustache, kind of a handlebar mustache. He has his signaler insignia on his shoulder, brass buttons, a belt. On the belt there is a cartridge pouch that does open. and he even has little buttons on the sleeves. He has a Springfield rifle that's nicely detailed, that he holds very well, as he has his hand in a basically molded to hold a rifle, and he holds it very well. And finally, we have an infantryman with the Georgia Infantry in the Confederate Soldiers line. He has the most accessories. He has a very interesting uniform. He has a hat that is actually made out of straw, so it's nicely detailed. That's not molded plastic or anything. His face still has that sort of 1860s look. He has a shirt and a tunic. His undershirt is red, which I really don't want to take off because it's so carefully put on. And he has a kind of a bow tie. He's carrying an Enfield rifle, which is actually different than the Springfield rifle that the other soldier has. As you can see, they're subtly different, and the Springfield is much longer than the Enfield. And can remove the rifle. Oops. And he's wearing denim pants. He has a white stripe sewn on the side of the pants. He has a large knapsack, and he has a cartridge pouch, and he has a canteen. So he has quite a lot of accessories. It's a very deluxe figure. And on a final note about these figures is the articulation on them is very, very good. You can put them in a lot of different poses if you wanted to display these figures. So, say you wanted to get him in different shooting positions, or however you wanted to do. These 12-inch figures are very articulated, almost like an artist's human model. They have a lot of hinges and joints, and all of them are articulated like that. So let's put this guy back on his stand. And I forgot to mention the signaler also comes with a telescope. It's not particularly detailed, but it's a nice little, for example, if you wanted to have him looking at something, or you could have him in a pose with the telescope. Let's get this guy back on his stand. So these are really just for your 12-inch collectors. I don't know if these are really good for heavy playing or for kids, because there's so many intricate little details that could be destroyed. Like on the Confederate infantryman, it would be really hard to put that uniform back together if you managed to take it off. So I think these are really just for history enthusiasts and collectors. And the details and the uniforms are really what makes the figures special. Okay, so there they are. 3 nicely done Civil War figures. If you're interested in collecting these, they are put out by Soldiers of the World. You can find them on eBay or other sites. Don't pay too much for these. You can typically find any of these figures for less than $20 each. So don't be led into buying them for any more than that. But if you are a Civil War enthusiast or historian or a 12-inch figure collector, and if you like to customize your figures or add other details, these are great figures to start with. You could add a lot or improve on the details that are already here by ordering your own pieces or patches or decals or whatever. You could add a little paint and maybe paint the barrel of the rifle black and the ramrod silver. You could touch up on the pistol. There's a lot of improvements that could be made on these to make them even better. So, but for a start, they have enough historical detail to customize these into really fantastic figures if you wanted to. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and found it interesting, and please rate, comment, and subscribe.